I'm out at Quinda Waters today on the central coast of Sydney. It's a beautiful spot here. Come up and have a game if you get a chance. And I was just about to start doing some filming, and a guy came up to me who had seen a tip of mine in the past. It was a putting tip, an old putting tip, and he said it had really helped him. And I thought, okay, I'm going to redo that tip because it was a popular one at the time. And it's all about more the sort of mechanical way to judge distance when you're putting, because it's not easy to judge distance. If you think, you know, you're out on the golf course, if you want to hit the ball a certain distance, you've got a club for it, like you've got a 7-iron to go a certain distance, and you just pull out the club that you think is the right one. And usually you've got a distance, and just looking up is not that easy, so the distance really helps you. So I was trying to think, how can we bring that into putting and make putting a little bit easier for our distance control? And a way you can do that, obviously you've only got the one club for putting, so you can't change it up for different distances. But a way you can bring distance control into your putting is by using your feet as a bit of a reference point for the distance of the stroke or the length of the stroke. And what I would suggest is picking one reference point just to keep it really simple. So my suggestion will be to pick the outside of your back foot for your backswing. And I'm going to pop a tee down so you can see roughly where that is, just for the purpose of the video there. So hopefully that lines up around about in line with the back of my foot there. I'll bring my ball here. And what I'm going to do is take the putter back about that far, hit the putt, and then see how far it goes and pace it out. So let's have a little go. So it's roughly going to the outside of my back foot. This is our initial reference point. I'll do a few putts. Ball position around about middle of your feet, maybe a little bit left, and width of stance up to you, but sort of a narrow shoulder width is a pretty good rule of thumb. That one went a bit further because I think I did take the putter slightly further back there. Try and keep your tempo similar for everything as well, because obviously that's going to affect how far the ball goes. Now those have gone roughly the same sort of distance. They're all about it's about 3 big paces for that one, where for me, and depending obviously on the speed of the greens as well, taking the putter to the outside of my back foot. Now the follow through, keep it around about the same, so whatever distance back, round about the same through. Roughly again, it doesn't have to be exact. If anything, you might want to slightly accelerate through the putt just a little bit, so potentially a little bit longer on the follow through. So once you've practiced, you know, how far does my ball go when I take my putter to the outside of my back foot, and you've paced it out, you can even write it down, then you might want to start playing around with it a little bit. What happens when you take the putter back to the inside of the back foot? What happens when you take the putter a little bit further than outside the back foot? Then you've got a few different distances to help you judge those distances when you're playing, when you're practicing your putting. Gosh, it's a bit windy out here today. I've got my ultimate golf hat on, which is staying on really well. If you'd like one of these, there's a link in the description. They're crushable, there's a spot for your marker, really comfortable, and it's got a good brim as well. So back to the putting. Just interrupting this video because I was watching it and editing it, and I thought, you know, this might actually work better in reverse, and it might resonate more with you in reverse. So in other words, instead of working out the distance between your feet and then pacing it out, pace it out first and then work out what stroke you needed. So let's say you started with a 1 metre putt. Where does my stroke need to go for that? Then maybe a 3 metre putt, and then maybe a 5 metre putt, or, you know, 3 foot, 5 foot, 8 foot, or look, work that out yourself, and maybe even just one distance is a really good reference point, so you can go shorter or longer. But try that if that sounds like it might resonate with you a little bit better, is to pick a few distances, then work out what length stroke do I need to go those distances, and you can write that down. So let me know if you think that would work better for you. I'd love the feedback. That's a really good, simple way to help you work out your distance control when you're putting. Use your feet as a bit of a guide. Play around with it, practice it a little bit. You might pick a reference point that works better for you than the outside of the foot. Again, pace it out, work out what distances you're getting with different length swings, and hopefully that'll help to improve your ability to judge distance when you're putting.